Hello and welcome to the very first Gamify 24/7 podcast. It's free to download, so thank you for doing that. We hope you enjoy it. We're aiming to bring you the latest in gaming news and pretty much just chat about what's happening in the gaming industry, hopefully on a weekly basis. The team is myself, Mike, we've got Shaun, Anton and Kat, and we're going to start the first podcast with an introduction to us, starting with Shaun.
Well, some of you guys might know who I am. You might recognise me from such programmes as Taggart, River City, or I'm not joking. No, I run a SmallFryUnify. I've got a studio here in Edinburgh. It's kind of a media studio. We do short films and video game content. So right now, if you go online on YouTube, you'll see we've got Games Lounge, where we do live streams from the studio and external streams, so we play games live, and you guys can join us on Twitch and YouTube. We've also got a game series, which is Games Lounge. We're on Series 3 starting next year now. And I've just recently started doing a little bit of vlogs, more sort of personal vlogs, showing you a little bit behind the scene of what SmallFryUnify is and what I get up to with my day job and here and stuff. And yeah, we're working on a short film. I can't tell you the secrets of it, but we're working on a short film. So lots of fingers and lots of pies. Jackie all trades, master of none and all that nut jazz, you know.
I have been playing games for as long as I can remember, for real. That's not just it's not just an expression.
Dun dun dun, not lies.
I can only remember. Yeah. So I've been playing games for a really long time, and I guess that's kind of evolved from just like a hobby or a pastime into what I hope is a profession someday. I'm not so good with the old logic. I've tried my hand at programming and I'm just not good at it, so...
I thought you meant logic as in common sense.
No, common sense wise, again,
none of us are good at that.
I'm not the best with common sense either. But yeah, no, I've been a games journalist for a website before when I was at uni. That was kind of a part-time thing for me. I got to travel for that as well. I got paid, which was pretty cool. And I worked in game retail. And at the moment, I've got a YouTube channel where I do Let's Plays. I'm hoping to do some vlogs as well. You've inspired me, Shaun.
Yes! My plans work perfectly. Kat, in case you're not aware, so I'm jumping in here, Kat's also been involved with SmallFryUnify stuff as well. Kat's part of Games Lounge. She's been involved with that, and Clash of the Comedians with yourself, Michael. Yeah, and other bits and bobs. So yeah, Kat's been involved with that stuff.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's my thing, basically.
Anton?
Yes, I make internets and play video games. I've been creating YouTubes for far too long and probably should stop, but I will continue because editing and making videos about video games. Yes, and I've been playing them for too long. Totally not to mask the fact I don't have friends. That would be ridiculous. People without friends.
Yeah, I'm so old that my first games console that I got was a Spectrum 128K plus 2.
Plus 2.
You're
I like you added that in there. Plus 2.
You're looking at me like, what language did he just say? Because I don't know what he said. So I grew up with even before like the kind of the Master System sort of era, and then well into the Sega Nintendo battles of the early 90s. I was Sega all the way, and now
Sega all the way.
Yeah, oh absolutely. At the time. But now I've kind of gone back and rekindled my love for Nintendo. So, you know, it's kind of like I'm seeing it from both sides of the fence now. So but at the time it was all Sega. So my other background is music and radio. So that's kind of I've been given the job of trying to edit this all together, you see. So if anything goes wrong or anyone says something at the wrong time or there's a swear word to edit out and I forget to edit it out, that's me. That's my fault. That's on me.
We'll be chasing you with pitchchforks.
And rightly so too. Rightly so. And apart from that, from my gaming background, I had a couple of songs in a couple of games as well, which was kind of fun, like The Sims. Which you may have heard of before, and Saints Row the Third, which is hilarious because you could literally go in the car and hear my voice, but I'm not telling you where because you might go and actually try and play it. So
I like it. I like Michael's sales technique there. I'm not telling you what it is. You have to go and play the game.
Yes.
I've actually got it as well.
It's a quest.
So what we're going to be doing every week, the idea is we're going to be picking 2 or 3 topics that are in the news, things that we think that people want to talk about because we're talking about them, and we'll also take a look at upcoming releases too and try and figure out what we all want to play, because sometimes we get the chance, sometimes we don't. We just see the game, sometimes we buy it and it sits there at home and you can't do anything about it because you've got to do like adult things, which is not always fun. And we're also going to do a weekly retro corner, which I'm really looking forward to, where one of us every week will pick a game that they reckon everyone else should go and check out and put down what you're doing and go and revisit it. So we're going to come to that, and we'll tell you who's going to do week 1's very first retro corner later on. So starting with PSVR. Now this is it doesn't feel like that long ago that it all sort of just appeared, and then now it's like it feels like it's been around forever.
Yep. VR is virtually reality now.
Oh my God.
You're sticking with that joke.
Yeah, this is the caliber.
Surreal now. It's been a pipe dream for so long, and now we physically got it, and it's like you feel like you're in an insider cell. It's like, I shouldn't have this. Is this real? Is this a pretend? No.
Yeah. I think, like, for me, I said this, we did a stream. When you're listening to this, the stream's already gone out, but we did a stream in the studio a few nights ago, and at the end of it, what I was saying to people is, for me, it's like a dream come true. PlayStation, well, not PlayStation specifically, but VR in general. I can recall when I was a little kid reading magazines, this is before there was interwebs, but reading magazines where they talked about VR and silicon graphics and all that kind of stuff. I remember seeing the headsets. I even tried a couple of them on in, what's it called, down in London, that centre, the big arcade. What's it called again? The Tropideca or something, whatever, anyway. Yeah. In there and trying it there, and it was terrible at the time because it was like a really bad headset. It made me just feel like kind of a bit woozy. And then I got a headset, it was by a company that done VR stuff, and it was a headset, it didn't even have head tracking, didn't have 3D, nothing, just a head mounted display. But it was like 640 by 480 resolution. I remember like watching my Dreamcast through it and hooking it up, and it cost me £1,000 at the time, but it done nothing. But it was just so cool. It was like, man, I want this so much. So this is a dream come true for me now that these headsets are out.
Yeah, it is. When you think of the history of virtual reality, I mean, I can think even back to, I don't remember at the time, but I know certainly, it was talked about for years, things like the Virtual Boy, which was apparently so sore to wear that people would have to pretty much lie down for a week to recover from the injury of trying to play. The great thing about PlayStation VR is that it seems like they've finally turned the corner, and now we're talking about something which isn't just an idea, it's actually something that's enjoyable to play. Now you guys, Shaun, I know that you've been having a real go on this, so I've kind of focused a bit on you with that. But Anton and Kat as well, do you feel that this is something that people are really this time going to take to? Because it is that, is that question, are people actually going to go for it this time?
It's kind of I'm kind of skeptical on the whole idea. I think personally we're at a point where the hardware is definitely there. Software sides, I think we're a few years to go. We've got still a lot of games that seem to be tech demos. That's quite good to know. It allows us to experiment, try out new stuff, especially with software like the PSVR worlds. Yep. That's fantastic. It's just got all these little wee bite-sized things. The one thing I'm skeptical about is whether or not there's going to be titles where people are going to want to sit down and be like, yeah, this is a £50 title I'm happily going to play for 10, 20 hours. So, but on the hardware side of things, I think we're finally about there, where it's part of reality.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm super excited about it. I've not managed to try any of it yet. I'm a bit scared about it as well. But it looks really, really cool, and I think it's maybe more than just a gimmick, because it is, like, everyone who tries it says it's amazing. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, again, like Anton says, I don't know if I could imagine playing up like a full campaign, like 10 hours, 20 hours in VR. Just, I can't even imagine that. It's like the Kinect when that came out. That was supposed to be quite similar, like the next step, you're the controller, all this kind of stuff. Yes. But actually that was really annoying not having a controller. Like for dancing games and stuff, it was cute, it was fun. But like Rise of Nightmares, did anyone try that out?
No, that was
I had the demo and it was really graphically bad, and you're trying to walk, you'd put one foot, just stick one foot out, and that was you walking, and it just was like, no.
You put your left foot in.
It's like, I'm moving, stop, and yeah.
Now you can't see this, but Kat's just done a brilliant impression of what it's like to have a Wii controller but not actually have a real controller and trying to pull a move. That was very cool.
Controller.
So Shaun, you're the one with the experience here. You're the experienced campaigner when it comes to PSVR. Are we worrying about nothing? And is this the future, or are we absolutely only going to be able to play this for half an hour at a time?
Well, I think it's both. I think it is the future. I think there's going to be a parallel between VR type games experiences and having that full-blown immersiveness, and then there's going to be the normal traditional games that you play in your console, have a family around you or whatever and stuff. I think what the biggest thing that I've found with the VR is ignoring tech, because that's always going to improve. We're going to get tetherless headsets and stuff. The biggest thing right now is, as much as I want a game that's a 10-hour game and getting value for it for £50, I really don't think it's going to work. Just because I think when you're in there, it is quite intense. And if you get a game that is like, let's say a scary game for instance, you get something, I think there is a difference between how it affects your body than when you're playing it and you know you're outside it. So I think like I played Scavenger's Odyssey and it was a 2-hour game. And I was physically exhausted after it, like mentally and physically, just because you are taking it all in. So I think VR is going to work. Like I think Anton's right with the tech demo side of stuff. I think it's great getting these tech demos, but I think what I'd like to see, and I think it would work really, really well, is maybe something where you say, right, we've got a 10-hour campaign game, but we're going to release it in episodic content. So you'll get an hour each week or an hour each month or something, and it maybe costs you, for the whole thing in total, the same price as a normal game, £50 or £60 or whatever, but you pay maybe a £5 every month, and it'll last you for a year. And you're excited about it, like watching Game of Thrones or something, you know, you're looking forward to the next episode. And I'm saying that because the London Heist, again, that's like a 30-minute demo or something. Well, I say a demo, it's a game, but it's like a 30-minute demo more than anything. And when you play it, it's really cool. And when you come out, you feel quite satisfied. But I'd like to see the next episode. I'd like to see it going further. But I think that's enough for a short burst, like an hour or whatever, you know?
I think Telltale are going to have a field day when they figure this out.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
The Walking Dead and stuff, yeah.
I think another idea I've kind of been playing with, and feel free to object to it, is potentially just conversion both VR games and normal games in a similar sense to Resident Evil 7. So for bits where you're like, oh, this is a great experience, you jump into the VR world, you enjoy it in VR, but for the more parts where it's like, oh, I'm exhausted, you just go back to controller, and it's the mix of that, and with that we would also get over the boundary of all these tech demo-esque cell software by converging the two.
That would be really cool, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think like HoloLens is kind of going to address that to some degree, you know, with augmented reality, where, like, I don't know if you guys have seen this stuff where, I can't remember what the company's called, but it's a company that's doing like full-on experiences with VR now, where you go in, you put the headset on, it's on a backpack, and that holds the computer, and you go in, and in the game, let's say they've got a room with a table in it like this, they'll actually build the room with a table or a block in the centre. So when you walk around, you can physically feel the objects. If you walk up to a flame, for instance, like a fire on the wall or whatever, when you walk up to it, they've got a heater in the actual space, so you can feel heat coming off it. Stuff like that. I think, you know, that's like one sort of type of thing. That's not augmented reality, that's like normal virtual reality, but it's just kind of taking it to the extreme. But I think like what you're saying with like an augmented sort of type thing where you can still see through like HoloLens, you can maybe play the game and you get like bits like superimposed on top of your normal life, and then you can sort of take a step back. I don't know if you can have the normal, we're getting people attacking us outside. I don't know what it's going to be like for like switching a game, taking a headset off and on until they get that tetherless. Right now the cords, there's far too many cords.
One game that I'm really excited about, and this is probably as sad as it gets, is the Star Trek one, because This is like all Christmases come at once for anyone that loves Star Trek. Imagine being on the Enterprise and having like different people playing different roles in a multiplayer environment, with it just feeling like you're really there. That is, to me. And then when you finally get the expansion pack with the holodeck, which surely has got to come at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just like, anyway, sorry, that was slightly geeky, but anyway, I'm excited about that.
Touching upon that though, they should just make everyone Georgie LaForge. Because you've got the eyes here.
Yes, yes.
It's like, I'm Geordie, yay!
The Adventures of Geordie LaForge.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Fantastic. The next big story this last couple of weeks.
Michael, you have to say We're going to switch it up.
Oh.
Do you know what? I'm going to edit in a boom. Right. So, the Nintendo Switch then. I know that we've been talking about this, the NX, what's it going to be? And then finally Nintendo have announced the Nintendo Switch. We don't quite know exactly the full details. We're getting more and more information daily. The latest that I heard was that it's going to have half the RAM of the Xbox One and the PS4. Is that really going to matter, though, when it comes to Nintendo? They have a history of kind of doing things that the other consoles don't do. So is it going to matter that it's half the RAM of a PS4 and an Xbox One, if it is that?
Personally, I'm not too bothered about it. I feel it depends on the perspective you're looking at this console. If you're sitting there comparing it to the PlayStation Pro, you're going to be like, oh, that's so underpowered. How am I going to play in 4K? Oh no. But if you look at it in the form of, oh, this is a handheld, it slaughters the 3DS, and it's like a massive step forward. And as well as that, we're getting double the RAM of a Wii U, and you can get some very pretty graphics out of the Wii U, and if it's only having to run on a 720p screen, it's not going to be as intensive, and the textures won't need to be as good because it's also a smaller screen on that one. Yeah. So personally, I'm not too bothered. How about yourselves?
Well, I think I'm the resident skeptic here, and also I think I may be the only person in the whole world who wasn't that excited first of all. Like, I had people messaging me when the trailer came out, and they were like, "Oh my god, have you seen the new Nintendo thing?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'll check it out." Had a wee look and was like, yep, the classic Nintendo, gimmicky as hell. And I'm sorry everyone, but I'm not, like, who's that saddle that brought it to a party? Like, come on. Like, come on. I'm not, taking your dog for a walk and
Damn, I was planning on bringing it to a party. Damn.
Oh no.
I know, I was just going to say, oh no, that's me.
Yeah, so I'm probably not going to get it no matter what the RAM is. I'm sorry everybody. But
I think with the RAM thing, I think people need to get out of the mindset of this is a home console and it's got half of what PlayStation 4 and Xbox One's got or whatever. That's irrelevant because it is a handheld at the same time now. I wouldn't also be surprised if the docking station has got extra stuff in there and Nintendo's just not talking about it right now. There's obviously the rumours that when you plug it in there, you get the boost where it's boosting fans, cooling it or whatever. To me, that box seems awfully large for just charging it and HDMIing it to your TV. So I'm almost convinced they've got something else in there where it's extra memory, extra storage, whatever. It wouldn't surprise me storage-wise and stuff like that. Again, like Anton's saying, it's double what the Wii U is. You take double what the Wii U is, that's pretty impressive. Also, if you think about the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, I think the PlayStation 4, they're both 8 gigs.
Indeed.
So they've got 8 gigs RAM, but a good portion of that is for the operating system, it's for the user interface side of it. If you take that out, if you take that on the handheld side of it, you're eliminating most of that. So it's like you're just playing a handheld. Do you really need 4 gigs for like an operating system? No. So you can have 4 gigs, pretty much all of it going into the game. That's impressive stuff, you know what I mean? So I don't think it's really going to matter that much.
As well as that, on the Xbox One, 1 gig is dedicated for the Kinect. Untapped, no software can take into it. Then you've got the software on there, what's part Windows and part Xbox OS. So it really is hoarding that RAM. And you've got a much more complicated OS, because let's be real, Nintendo's not been the best at OSs, so it's going to be a light OS. So I think the RAM issue is not going to be too big.
I think part of that RAM as well on the other consoles, isn't part of that taken up for when it's always recording? Isn't that like part of the thing? So it's always ready to record that bit of footage so you don't miss it?
PlayStation is always recording, like,
so there must be a
30-minute bursts.
Yeah, so there must be like a set period portion of that.
It's
put aside, so you take
constantly doing it.
You take that out, then whether Nintendo's going to have something like that on the Switch, I don't know, but if you take that out, and there's like, you're freeing up like probably half of that 8 gigs of RAM anyway. So 4 gigs that's going to be pretty impressive, I think, myself.
Okay, the question is the Nintendo Switch, will you be buying it on launch day? And I'll start with Anton.
Yes, I'm very hyped. For so long, I love handheld consoles, but the problem for me is paying £50 for a handheld game when you can go out and buy a console game. It's like, why would I go ahead and buy Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D for £40 when I can go and buy Twilight Princess HD for this exact same price? So I think combining those two systems, it's like adding value to each game title. So I'm just excited from a game point of view.
Do you have a PlayStation VR?
I do have a PSVR and I love my VR and I wish that Sony loved it more too. But that said, new games on the VR, it's like 35 quid. And I'm picking, like, I play a lot of visual novels, like Japanese ones, and I will happily buy them for Vita rather than PS4, even though I could buy them for either. A lot of them come out for both, but I'll go for my Vita. I love my Vita. I can play old PlayStation 1 games on it too. And so that's why I'm quite happy with that. Like, I'm not like a big Sony fanboy or anything like that.
The thing is, I don't think it's going to be one of the, similar to the PlayStation VR. I think the companies, the developers that are making third-party games or first-party games for the 3DS right now, I think they'll still make an equivalent of a handheld game. And I don't know what Nintendo's rules are going to be. If you create a handheld experience, you can play it in the Switch and it just upscales to the TV, or does it have to be a full-blown console version game that then you can scale down? I think they'll still make Professor Layton or whatever. They'll make a game that's a handheld version of the 3DS one. It'll just look amazing on the handheld.
Yeah, because that's what.
And it'll still be 35 quid. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I'm just not that fussed of it. I've got a 3DS as well, and I like my 3DS for some stuff, but most of the things I want to play are generally on the Vita. I can get.
So release day then, we're basically saying Anton's a yes, Shaun's a yes, I'm a yes, Kat's a no.
I'm a no, sorry everyone.
Get her!
3-1.
By the way, just before I forget, talking about the RAM thing again, the 3DS is 128 memory, I think it is. The Vita is 512. So you think the Vita's got 512, it's not even got a gig of RAM. It's got 512 megs or whatever. So and
that's equivalent to both the PS3 and Xbox 360. And considering what you could do in that, like run Grand Theft Auto 5, who knows what you could do with this?
Yeah. Sorry, I just thought I'd add that in there before I forgot.
It's not the size of it; it's what you do with it that counts. All right then, so moving on then, we've got upcoming releases. We've only got a few minutes to look at upcoming releases. I'm going to mention mine first and see if anyone else is as excited as this as I am. Rockstar, I love it when they announce a new game because it's hype forever. I wish they'd announced Bully 2. I've been waiting for them to announce the sequel to Bully since the first one came out. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go and dig out a PS2 and play the Canem edit, which is
Rockstar.
Maybe it was the other way around.
Yeah, you can play it on PS4 now. So.
Oh yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I downloaded it on the PS4 just a few weeks ago. I haven't played it yet, but I definitely will go and revisit that. But I am very excited about Red Dead Redemption 2, which looks cool. So is anyone with me on that?
Well, I tested the original one. I tested Red Dead Redemption at Rockstar. I was one of the testers for that. Cool game, so I'm looking forward to the second one. I'm not massively excited, but I'll be excited to play it when I get it.
I think I will probably play it, but shamefully did not finish the first one. I kind of didn't really...
The ending's the best part.
See, I just didn't give it enough time, I don't think. I feel like it's one of those ones you needed to really get a feel for and get into it. And I just didn't, I think, because they made me go hunting and stuff, and I was like, I don't want to do this. And sorry, again, I'm the sour one out of all of us tonight. I do like things, I swear. I really do.
It's episode 1. I mean, there's no saying how depressed you're going to be by episode 10, so we'll see where we go. Anton, then, are you excited about Red Dead Redemption 2?
I think I'm the outsider to the internet because I've never played Red Dead 1, and I'm just looking at this trailer. I'm like, oh, it's got graphics. I've seen a graphics before. That's definitely some graphics. But I think I might dive in now because I am a fanboy for GTA 5 and it owns my life. So I think this one will be worthy to go. It's like GTA with horses. What's to go wrong?
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
All right, I'm going to give you, because our time is fast approaching the allotted time that we gave ourselves to do this, when in reality we should have probably just given ourselves more time, 30 seconds each to tell me, don't panic, Kat, it's fine. When I say 30 seconds, it can be 35, I'm not counting, I don't have the stopwatch going. So 30 seconds each to tell us about anything upcoming that we should be thinking about playing or anything that you're excited about. We'll start with Shaun.
All right, I'll have to get a timer now. Damn it, I've wasted 5 seconds on a timer. Robinson, The Journey on PlayStation VR, looking forward to that. Crytek game, it'll be interesting to see a really tech-heavy company making a game for VR and seeing what it's like. It might be a crap story, but it'll be interesting. Apparently it's a 3 to 5 hour campaign or game, so you know it's $50. I'm trying to see if I can get a cheaper price or get a hold of a review copy. Looking forward to that. Also got an update for Shenmue today. Apparently he's been signing images, Shenmue 3, so I'm looking forward to that, but that's next year. What else? It's not really an upcoming game, but Eve Valkyrie, I might get that as well for the PlayStation VR, just to play the full version of it. I don't know if there's anything else. Super Mario Run, try that in the mobile.
Good. That was way over 30 seconds, but that's fine. That's okay. Anton, what's your suggestions?
All right, I'm going to represent the Sega side of this podcast. Sonic Mania, very excited for that. It's done by Christian White, and he is a very famous modder in the modding scene. So the thing is exciting is the Sonic team has a reputation of not knowing what fans want. This is a game made by fans for fans, and it looks absolutely gorgeous in 60 frames per second.
Going back to its roots.
Yes, definitely. It's got remix new stages, and it's kind of a hybrid between Sonic CD and Sonic 3 and Knuckles, so it just looks gorgeous.
Sonic CD
with you on
the
that.
iOS store as well.
It
right
is.
now. I downloaded it.
Yes, yeah, I am. Anton, I'm 100% with you on that. I'm very excited to see where that goes. That's very exciting. So, yeah, see, it's the Sega coming out of me all over again. Can't go on there. What do you think?
I have to say, the Sonic Twitter is very good.
Yeah.
It is so good.
Oh, really?
I love it.
I haven't been followed. Is
always
this something
flags
I'm
You
missing
should
out
follow
on?
It's
it.
funny.
It's hilarious. It
It's-
just kind of makes fun of itself.
Yeah.
Not even that, they make fun of other people. Like
And
when
also
Mighty
other
Number
people, it
9
was
came
great.
out, when Mighty Number 9 came out, they were like, congratulations Mighty Number 9, better than nothing.
What about you,
Awesome.
Gabba?
All right.
Right. Upcoming for me, really close actually, Dishonored 2.
Oh,
Can't
yeah.
wait.
Oh,
Ordered
yeah.
the collector's edition. I'm very excited. I'm going to get a wee mask, a little bit of Corvo's mask from the first one. Yeah, basically loved the first one. Absolutely loved it. Some people complain a little bit about the story, but I just really loved the atmosphere of it all. I know we're in a different place this time. Trying to remember the name of it, but I can't right now. But you get to play either as Corvo or Emily, who was in the first game as a little girl. Yep. Super excited about that, coming out in a couple of weeks actually, the 11th.
Yep.
And after that, Steins Gate Zero.
Steins Gate Zero. I've never
Steins
heard
Gate
of
Oh,
it.
Zero.
what's that?
Steins Gate is my favourite visual novel. It's also an anime in Japan. It's amazing. About time travel. These students make a microwave into a time machine, basically.
Ooh, cool.
And get into loads of trouble with CERN, and it's crazy, it's amazing. And this is kind of the sequel coming out to that
Interesting.
in
Intriguing.
November, so I'm super duper looking forward to that
That
one.
does sound cool. I love that. I love anything with time travel.
I
you've
love
pretty much got
everything
me.
with time travel, so
Pretty
I
much
would really
there.
recommend it.
Okay, so we've got one last thing that we're going to be doing on a weekly basis, and it's our retro corner. And this is the chance for one of us to mention a game or a console or something that we should go and revisit, or maybe you never visited it in the first place, and we should be checking it out. Shaun, you're going first.
Shenmue.
What are you?
Shenmue.
Shenmue, yes.
Shenmue. No,
So
it's
you're
like,
very excited to tell us. Now, this is great because I've never played Shenmue.
Right.
Neither
Well,
have I.
the thing is, it's interesting because I played this and it was a kind of game changer. It was like one of the first types of its game before Grand Theft Auto time. And it was when Sega was with the Dreamcast, they were bringing out amazing games left, right and centre, even though the console was failing. And Yu Suzuki brought out Project Berkeley, and it was just this phenomenal looking game, pushing the boundaries of graphics and stuff. And it was like it was taking all these sort of different genres from like not Street Fighter, Virtua Fighter, Outrun. I can't remember what other games he's done, but it was taking all these sort of kind of different genres and putting them into one game. And originally it was going to be based on Ryu from Virtua Fighter, and it was going to be his sort of story. And then it became Ryu was just like a separate character, and him sort of finding out who killed his dad and stuff. But anyway, when you put in the Dreamcast for the first time, it was just the graphics were mind blowing. Even playing it now, it still looks impressive for like a 17-year-old game now. But yeah, it was like one of the sort of kind of biggest games on the Dreamcast, and everyone who had the Dreamcast was looking forward to it, on 10 million or whatever. And then the Shenmue 2 came out, which just kind of pushed it even further, bumped the graphics up a little bit more, and it was just this kind of story that was getting told and it left us all on a cliffhanger 17 years ago or 15 years ago, and we've all been waiting for it now, everyone that played it. And I think just even some of the sort of stuff within the story of the game, it was stuff I related to quite strongly at the time because my dad just died at the time, so I kind of related to it, and it hooked me right in. So I've been waiting for this to finish, this saga that's like amazing. And yeah, it got funded eventually 2 years ago, well, a year and a half ago at E3. Yu Suzuki came on stage with a Sony press conference and announced that they were going to be supporting it, and they were going to be doing like the marketing side of it. So it was like a dream come true. There was people crying in the audience and everything. It was brilliant. I almost shed a tear. Almost. I'm a man. I don't shed tears. But it was awesome. Yeah, and I think that it's coming out 2017. So I've ordered it for the PlayStation 4. I didn't even have a PlayStation 4 at the time, but I ordered it anyway. So now we'll all have a PlayStation 4. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to that. But talking about the VR stuff earlier, I think Shenmue would be a perfect fit for that, because one of the big things in Shenmue was you could pick up objects and you could rotate them. Sounds so cheesy and so corny and boring, but it's exciting when you play VR, picking something up and like picking up a cable and going and touching it. It's amazing. So I think Shenmue will be perfect for that. Where you can walk into buildings and pick up Chinese and Japanese artifacts. I think that'll be awesome. So yeah, Shenmue for me, man. Shenmue for me.
So Shenmue, if we were all to go and play it this week, what's the best way? Go and get a Dreamcast off eBay. Is that your suggestion?
Well, Dreamcast, you'll probably struggle to get a Dreamcast for cheap now. It's like they're still selling for quite high prices. And Shenmue 2 sells for over £100 now because it was a kind of rarity. I actually sold a boxed version for £120. But anyway, the best way to play it is to go on Xbox. I don't know if you can get an Xbox One, but go on the Xbox 360 and you'll be able to get Shenmue 2, which I think includes the film from Shenmue 1. It's like a kind of catch-up film. That's probably the best way to do it because it's got a little bit improved graphics and controls and stuff. But if you can get your hands on a Dreamcast, yeah, I'd play it the original way. Or if, I'm not trying to endorse emulators here, if you've got an emulator where you can play it, go ahead and get it and just try it out because it's awesome. So,
yeah. Shenmue it is then. That's the next on my retro. I'm already starting to think ahead to what am I going to choose because
yep.
you know
I was thinking that
I've got a plan. I'm like, I know what to do next.
Good. Well, we can't give any of that away just yet. Sean was just like, I know exactly what I'm. The minute it was mentioned, and this was like when we had our discussions weeks ago about this, he was like, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I don't care what you guys are doing, but I know what I'm doing. It was good. I think that's about it. It's the first episode we've done. It's all very exciting. We're hoping that that people will want to subscribe and listen regularly to our updates. We're going to get into doing some other things as well. Hopefully do some playing of some of the new stuff as well, and also maybe even some competitions in the future. We're going to get the website going as well, the Gamify 24/7 website. Is there anything else you guys want to add that we want to kind of let people know that this is kind of the plan?
Well, you can follow the SmallFryUnify stuff if you go into YouTube /SmallFryUnify. Go and check out that. I've got all the stuff that I mentioned at the start. Come and join us in there. It'd be awesome. And you get to see more of the studio and stuff like that.
Awesome. Anton, do you want to tell people your YouTube channel? Because
yes, if you go to a YouTube channel, the worst named YouTube channel on the internet, DeathMasterX7, I do a show there called Vlogacino. Essentially, I sit down in front of camera and talk about random topics of discussions. And over there you'll see some of the craziest, dumbest and most stupidest editing ever and self-depreciating humour. So if that's your thing,
it's actually
hopefully you enjoy.
It's so funny, I'm going to say that actually.
I've watched it, it's pretty funny.
Excellent.
Laugh
and you guys haven't been paid by Anton to say that. You're saying that genuinely.
Give me the money, Anton.
So Kat, you've got a Let's Play YouTube channel, right? So tell us what that is so people can go and check it out.
Yeah. If you want to go and check out my channel, I've not put a video on in quite a few weeks. I've been a little bit lazy. But it's WaspsandCakes, so just youtube.com/WaspsandCakes, all one word, and that's me. And hopefully you'll also see a vlog of my future trip to Iceland on there. I'm going next week.
Wow.
Gonna try and make a little vlog out of it.
If only the Nintendo Switch had been out in time and you could have taken it with you.
I know.
You could be that cool airport person.
Sat on the plane and played it.
The revolution continues.
You could have got
sat in the lagoon with it. Yeah.
You could have taken it to that party that you go to in the first night you arrive, but hey, well.
Also, stay tuned because I'm going to try and scare the living bejesus out of Kat on one of the live streams with the PlayStation VR.
Yeah, which is not going to be difficult. If you see my channel, you will see how scared I get of of just sitting in front of a regular TV with a controller. So
I think we could do a whole even just talking about the prospect of trying the Until Dawn game on VR is enough to scare anyone, because if anyone's played Until Dawn, then the thought of that in VR form of any sort, then that terrifies
the pressure,
me completely.
yeah.
So. Well, I think that's it, and we'll be back. Hopefully, well, we're planning to do this weekly, but the plan is that if there's nothing happening, we ain't going to do a podcast. We're just going to do it when we feel. But essentially, it's going to be once a week is the kind of plan, or that's what we're aiming for.
Sounds good.
Awesome. We'll see you next week.
Stay groovy, people.